Okay, now with SolidWorks open, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create the wing. So first thing we want to do, obviously we want to create a part. There we go, created a part. As you can see, we have nothing here. So we want to go to Features, and you can see right here we have an option called Curves, and Curve through XYZ. So this is going to import our airfoil data points. So we want to click Browse. As you can see, we're in the right folder, but there's nothing here. It's because we want to change our from curves to text files. That's what we saved it as. We saved it as a text file. So we go ahead, click on it, open it, and you can see our curve has imported here into SolidWorks. If you get an error that pops up, it's because your Excel is still open. So make sure you close your Excel after you save it. That way you don't get that error. And then we can click OK. And as you can see, we have an airfoil now. So the next thing we want to do is we want to resize this airfoil based on a chord length. So what we can do is we can create a new sketch. We want to make it on the same plane as the airfoil. So we want to click on the front plane because that's the one it imported into. You want to convert entities, and we want to convert our airfoil. So we just click on it and we can check OK. And now we have our airfoil. So to resize this airfoil, first we need to take this constraint off. So we'll go ahead and we'll take that constraint off. As you can see, we have an airfoil. So this is going to be our resized airfoil. So we want to go ahead and we want to stick a center line through it from our leading edge to the trailing edge. There we go. We want to constrain the leading edge to our coordinate system. So we can hold control and click on both the leading edge and the coordinate, and the add relations will come up and we can make them coincident. We want to add a smart dimension on the center line. There we go. And say we want a 10-foot chord. I'm in inches right now, so 12 times 10. We zoom out and we will see we have a 10-foot airfoil chord. And we can click OK. So right now our airfoil chord is just going to be controlled by this one sketch. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make the wing. So we're going to create a sketch on the top plane. There we go. So we're going to reorient to the top. We want to first create a box with the center using center lines. So we'll click on the leading edge. We'll zoom out. We're just going to create a box. This box is going to make it easier to change the dimensions later. I want these two parallel or perpendicular. So there we go. Now we have a box. I want to also make sure that this trailing edge point is actually coincident with the trailing edge. So I want to click the 2 points, again holding control, and I can make them coincident. Okay, so now I can actually add our lines. So we're going to add some lines here, again from the leading edge down to the bottom of the box. Then we will have it, we'll make another one to the trailing edge. Okay. We also want to convert this line right here into a construction line. This line will control our chord length at the tip of the wing, but we just want to make it a construction line for now. And now we can add some dimensions. So you want to add the dimensions on the exterior of the box. So this is going to be our span. So say we have a 20-foot span, so 20 times 12. Then we have a sweep. So we want to add the sweep between the box and the line. This will be a 12-degree sweep. And then say we have a chord length. So from here to here, And say now this, we had a 10-foot root chord, so this could be a 5-foot, so 5 times 12. And as you can see, that will also give us a angle here. So we could define this by either a chord length or an angle of the trailing edge. Either way works. So click OK. So now we have what is looking somewhat like a wing. We have one more step. We need to add this airfoil profile to the tip. So we'll go ahead and we need to make a plane. So we can click on Features, Reference Geometry, click on the little tab, and we want to click on Plane. So the first constraint is going to be we want it parallel to that front plane. So we click on the front plane and we can click parallel. The second reference is going to be we want to make it this point. That way if that point moves up and down, then the airfoil will also change with that point. So there we go, now we have a plane. So we want to create a sketch on this plane. So we'll go ahead and click on our sketch again. Now we're sketching on this plane. What we want to do is we want to make this same airfoil on this new sketch. So again, we're just going to go convert entities. We'll click on that airfoil and we'll click OK. So again, we have this airfoil. And as you can see, it also has a center line here. Well, we'll actually make a center line. So, okay, we're going to do the same thing again. We'll take this constraint off. We'll delete it. You can see now we can move the airfoil. We want to add a center line. There we go. We want to constrain the leading edge to the leading edge point right here. So we click on the line, we can click on that point, and we want to make sure that they pierce. As you can see, now we have our airfoil. And for the trailing edge, we can do the same thing. So we click on the line, click on the point, holding control, and click pierce. Now you can see we have an airfoil. So we have a wing. So let's actually put a surface on it. So we click on surfaces. If you don't have this tab available, you just right click and you can check surfaces. You can see there's other options too. You can make sheet metal, weld melt, just direct editing, rendering tools if you want to render it later on when you want to make actual images of it. So we click on surfaces. We're going to do a loft. We have two profiles is the first selection, so that's the first profile. Here's our second profile, and you can see it starts to make a wing. We want to constrain it to our curves that we set up here, so we're going to add that's going to be one constraint. As you can see, it fixed itself to that. And our second constraint is going to be the front line. And okay, so it fixed it again to that. And there you go. Now we have a wing. So this is just one half of the wing. To make the second half, we're going to go ahead and just mirror it. So we click on Features, Linear Pattern, and Mirror. It's going to ask what face to mirror it on. So we want to mirror it on the front plane. And then what do we want to mirror? So we want to click on Bodies to mirror, because this is going to be one body. And once that's done, we can click OK. And there's our wing. Some of the cool features about this, now that you've created it, say you want to change your span or your chord, you can always just go back to this surface loft and the sketches. So this sketch will control your root chord. This second sketch is going to control your sweep, your span, and your tip chord. So if I want to change my sweep, say I want to make a sweep of 10 this time, and I can rebuild it. and you can see it changes it. Or say I want to change my root chord. For some reason, we need a longer root chord. Instead of 10 feet, we need a 13 feet. So I can go ahead and change it and rebuild it. There we go. So you get the idea. You have your wing. By making it controlled by only those few dimensions, you can change it and you can easily edit it later on if any properties were to change while designing your airfoil. This could be 80, and see, really easy. Okay, so that is part 1, creating the wing.